Hey, it's Essie. Restarted my YouTube page. Decided to take a different approach as I need to focus on myself a little bit differently. I am now 53 years old. My birthday was at the end of January. Gone through a lot in the last 3-4 years. Been divorced now for almost 9. Renamed my page 4 Angels at the end of the Essie, because God put 4 angels in my life. They're my 4 beautiful children from a 10-year marriage. I'm still pretty close to them. I don't get to see them as often as I'd like, but I do stay in touch with them. Now, I am putting my life in the hands completely of God. He's the Father. He's the Lord of the host. He's the Lord Commander. He has the protection that can surround me and you if you need it. So I'm looking at rechanging and working on my life from a spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically better life. I'm working on it. It'll go from everything from committing myself to my church, working on myself to know that I am a good person. I'm God's child, so obviously I'm strong. Reworking my diets, praying I can get this nerve fixed in my legs so I can get back in the gym. But gonna do what I can do until then. When I got back from church, I changed and did 3 sets of 10 of a couple of different exercises, with my 10-pound dumbbells. It's a start. It's not what I need to get into, but at least it's upper body. And you got to start somewhere. That hula hoop thing I was using, if you saw any of my other videos, it's a hit or miss with me. I'm never good at hula hoop, but I can do it now. Maybe once I get myself a little more organized, then I can do that. Last couple of days I've been working and reworking my budget book, projecting into the future a couple of months to see where I can be at as far as paying my bills and saving. I've got 2 things I'm trying to get paid right now. That one, paying off my half of our furniture here at the apartment. 2 is to pay my oldest daughter back, because when I moved back from Virginia to Texas, and that'll be a story for another day, I didn't know what I was going to do necessarily. I just hit the road, put myself in God's hands, and it just led me to where I am right now. Because on the trip back, I had to spend $1,500 to get my car to get down here. I ended up spending another almost $200 for a battery in Mississippi, which was halfway between Virginia and Texas. And after I got to Texas, I really didn't know what I was going to do or where I was going to stay. I was prepared to sleep in my car if I needed to, but I was going to find a job. God put friends in my life to help me for the first couple of months. And then my oldest daughter, all of my kids really didn't want me to sleep in my car, so my oldest daughter funded 2 months, almost 2 months, at some extended stay hotels for me. I was able to pay for about a week myself, not very much. And then I stayed at my girls' house that they're renting for a week, so till my roommate and I could get into this apartment. So I've been blessed, truly blessed. If you leave yourself to God, it can lead you where you need to be. And when I first got here last January, at the end of January 2023, that's where I was. And this is where I am now in March of 2024, sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with a dear friend of mine. We're both working on ourselves. This is just more of an introductory type video, I guess, if you want to say. I'm not really speaking very well. That medication I take still does everything to me. I want to introduce you to me. So it is Etsy, not Etsy, like the online store. And this is what the back of my cup says. It says, someday I'm going to eye roll myself into another dimension. So that's just a neat little cup I like to carry around and drink my probiotics. Right now I'm drinking some fresh squeezed orange juice. It's going to be my go-to cup when I'm at home, and then I have a large water bottle at work. I'm trying to back away from things like sodas and things like that. I'm even cutting down my coffee intake, trying to morph over into teas, so when I'm at work I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. Just little minor changes I'm trying to make in my life. Other than that, I hope you'll stick around with me and see where this journey leads us. I know I'm not as pretty as a lot of the women on YouTube. I'm not as outgoing, not as fabulous. My voice may not be as cutesy. I don't have the money any of them have. And I know they didn't have it when they started necessarily. But we're going to see what we can get into. That'll be everything, like I said, from my spiritual side to my mental side, emotional and physical side. From everything to taking care of myself better, health-wise, my face, gonna do a facial. I am going to be showing you some different ways I'm going to be pairing some of my clothes. I've decided not to be buying any more clothes. I did pick up, I picked up a pair of white boots online from Torrid, and they were super cute, but when I got them and I tried them on, I was just like, these aren't me. So I took them back over to the store today, the Torrid physical store, and they still had this green cami, that swing type cami that is just adorable. I wore my electric blue one today to church, but they have this one that's green and has butterflies all over it. So I went ahead and didn't even trade for the boots on that. So that'll be my last clothing purchase for a while. Excuse me, pollen here in Texas. But I'll be showing you how I pair up some of the things that I already have, because I do have a lot of clothes, and I'm gonna, if once I start losing weight, then I'll have a lot more options in my closet, from skirts and beautiful dresses and different tops that I can pair them with. So we're just gonna work with what we already have right now until we can get to a point of starting to do more. My recent financial things that I had to do was I got a box spring for my bed finally. We've been in our apartment since July, and I just got it last week to go under my mattress. Before I was using some wood slats. My son took the wood slats because he's going to make a shelf out of them because they're great. I spent $112 on those, so I didn't want to just chuck them. Anyway, I guess I don't even know what else to say other than I'm sitting outside for a little bit to enjoy my day. I planted a sweet potato, and I have 2 little lemon trees started, but I'm going to have to get some new potting soil. I'm going to have to get it from indoors because the bags they could keep outdoors and what I had out here have the little, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, the larvae gnats, I think is what they call them. They're all in my soil, and I don't want it to keep affecting my lemon trees. So not today, I just don't feel like it. Maybe when I leave work tomorrow, I might stop by. Notice that Dollar Tree had Dollar Tree had some potting soil, and they keep it indoors, so it shouldn't be subject to all that moisture that you get when you get it at Lowe's and Home Depot and places like that where they keep it outdoors. I'm gonna give that a shot and then do some repotting, replanting. They're not really that big right now, and I just popped a piece of ginger in with the lemon, so I want to see if I can start that. But that'll be my projects for the next week or two, with the weather starting to warm up here in Texas. And maybe get a couple of more pots. Excuse me, I'm shaking my camera, or my phone I should say. Just got a little chill. Something my roommate thinks is kind of funny, because it can be 85 degrees outside, and if I'm sitting in the house and she's just got the AC on just a little bit, I am freezing. So right now it's in the 60s here, but there's a little bit of a breeze. It was 40 something when I went to church this morning. But saying but just a little too much, I noticed that. I had a question. Has anybody ever thought, like, I'm set. Like I said, I'm 53, and I have been taking either gabapentin, or now I'm using pregabalin for this nerve that's running down my leg, which is typically a diabetic nerve pain or nerve pill. The side effect is fatigue and stuff like that. I have noticed over the last couple of years I've been taking it, I don't know if it's age or the medication. I feel like it's the medication because I wasn't like this before I was taking the medication. But I am so much more forgetful. I stumble over my words. So cross, fingers, body parts, whatever. I'm waiting to hear from my doctor because as far as my insurance company goes, they said the person I talked to 2 weeks ago when they did a psych eval said she was going to recommend I have the surgery I need to repair the nerve issue. Now I'm just waiting to hear from my doctor to see if he's good to go with it. He's the one who recommended it anyway. So that'll come in a couple of weeks. I have an appointment on April the 5th with Dr. Kanja to see where we're going with that. Got a trip, not this week, but next week. I have to go to Juarez, Mexico for a 4-day business trip. I don't really want to stay in Juarez, but I'll be there with my boss and the chief of staff from the company. But they're both much older and way out of shape than I am. So I don't know how much they're going to be helpful, but I do know some of the people that live in Mexico. Some of my friends are there. If I had enough time, I'd go with my friend Maria Teresa and get laser on the leg hairs. She did that, and I always told her I was going to come back and visit her and have that done. But anyway, I just go on rambling. Anyway, stick with me. Like I said, this is going to be a whole new page, whole new set of videos that I'm getting into. I will still be doing some of the fabulous over 50 things because physical is part of the whole thing that I'm going to do, but emotional and everything else. Got to get our budget in line because my goal is maybe next year is to be able to get a house or buy a piece of land to put a small home on. So keep praying. Let's keep going. Put your hands in God and binge some Jesus. I watched all of season 4, by the way. If you are a fan of The Chosen, then if you haven't had a chance to see it, if you didn't go to the theater to see it, you're really, really, really gonna love it when it gets put out on the app. That is one purchase I'm gonna have to make because they've taken pre-orders right now for season 4 on DVD or Blu-ray. I have all the episodes or seasons, 1, 2, and 3. So I want to get 4 when it gets put out. That'll be probably one of the only extra purchases I make other than groceries and things like that. And toiletries and things. Anywho, if you have any questions or if you can give me any recommendations and where I was going with that whole mental remembering thing earlier. See, I told you I get sidetracked. I just can't keep it together anymore. But what I was going to ask, if you guys want to just inbox me or just make comments on here, has anyone thought about using memory games like we used as kids or used for our children when they were little? Those cards that you flip over and then you got to remember where the other ones were at. I think I'm going to give that a go. I do love to read dearly, so I'm trying that. I want to get back to sewing. But what is your thoughts on using flip cards for memory games to help boost your memory? Okay, well, once again, my name is Essie, and I'm doing this for my 4 angels because I want to be in their life for a longer period of time. I realized this morning, it hit me as I was getting out of my car going into church, I am now the age that my maternal grandmother was when my grandfather passed away. And she was my best friend. Little feisty thing, little tiny feisty thing. I don't know what happened to me. I'm tall and I'm chunky, but we're gonna get there. Leave your comments. And you see this right here that's going on, this is something I'm going to work on too. As I lose weight, it'll get to look draggier, but maybe if we can get the weight down first, then I can address this in some way, shape, or form. But I'm going to work on it. All right, carry on. I'm sorry to have taken up so much of your time today, and if you don't want to watch it, I get it. I don't think I'd want to watch me either. Kisses, hugs from Texas. Take care. Bye-bye.